Okay, hey everybody, Dan Fitzpatrick here, stockmarketmentor.com. Just real quick, I want to talk about Nvidia now. The day before yesterday, this was on the day that Nvidia reported earnings, and then the stock was up so much. I mentioned to people in the free chart video that I thought that the best way to get into this, if you weren't holding a position over earnings, was just to realize that the earnings were so strong that this was not really going to be a gap and reverse. It wasn't going to be okay, Nvidia's done. Let's take advantage of the knuckleheads buying and sell all this stock, and then we'll move on. It wasn't going to be that kind of trade. This is a trade that's really just kind of getting going. There's a lot of blue sky overhead here. And so my suggestion was, you just kind of start a position, and then as long as the stock's working in your favor, you gradually build onto that position and always have a protective stop in place so that if there's ever a time when, for whatever reason, Nvidia just reverses, the maximum amount that you're going to lose. You kind of have that failure built in to your system. And as long as you're able to do that, you can ultimately wind up holding a pretty big position in the stock. So I still feel that way kind of in spades. The intraday low here was much higher than the prior days. The intraday high was higher than the prior days. And this is the enthusiastic, hey, earnings are awesome, we got to buy the stock. Like that was the high from yesterday. 1063.20 was this high. So today, not only did the stock break through there, and it was kind of in the afternoon that it did that. I guess it did just before the close. Like, oh yeah, it was here that that's what set the high. I actually thought, I'm just kind of doing this on the fly, I thought that it actually surpassed that in the afternoon, and it did, like basically right at the close. So, but after hours, before hours, or during market hours, it doesn't matter. The stock's now above. It's actually at a new high here today. So my suggestion is, again, you just stay long this stock. They split the stock 10 for 1 on June 10th. I'm going to go out on a limb and say that prior to June 10th, I can see this thing trading at a $1,250 handle. And it's not a prediction. I'm just saying it just kind of feels to me like it could do that. I go into more detail in the strategy session for members today, but what I'm talking about is a gamma squeeze. I think we're going to get a pretty significant gamma squeeze here on this stock. So there's going to be a lot of money to be made. By the way, speaking of money, I was going to be releasing as a Memorial Day special, Trade Track. This is something that I've been working on for a long time with programmers, and it's finally ready to roll. I've already got actually about 100 people beta testing it, and the results are, people love it. And it's a way to track your trades. So, for example, on Nvidia, okay, this is the trade that I've had a lot of different trades going on Nvidia, but this is one of them. And so I'm not going to go through all the details here, but if we look at the chart on this, this is the kind of stuff that I'm able to see. Oh, okay, I bought 30 shares here on this date. And then, oh, just before earnings, okay, I sold 15 just before earnings. And then, oh, today I went ahead and bought those shares back at 1047.28. So I bought those shares back today. So I'm back to where I was before, but I've mitigated my risk. So what's my closed P&L? I made 800 and some on the first one. I've got $1 P&L of this amount, all told up 6.3%. There's some of my rationale for what I'm doing today. And then these are my numbers based on, say, the last 12 months. If we want to say like, well, how about the last 3 months? How's this going? And this is for the active trade list that I keep. But you look and see what's the batting average. What's your average gain? 18%, not bad. Average loss, about 3%. What's my expectancy based on what I've actually done? $1,629.75 per trade. That's what I expect to make if I simply continue to do what I actually have been doing. So guys, and these can be impressive numbers. They may not be impressive numbers. All this does is track it. And it tells you, like, how are you actually calculating this stuff? The thing that I like about this is it's actually kind of interesting. It's more than just a stupid spreadsheet, though you can get spreadsheets here too. But this tells me, it gives me a lot of things that I wouldn't normally be looking at. I get to see histograms like here. I want all my stuff shoved over to the right as much as possible because it means that my profits are more and they're bigger, and my losses are fewer and they're smaller. So these are the kinds of things that you're going to get with TradeTrack. We were going to be marketing it over the weekend, but instead I'm going to wait, and we're going to start doing that on Tuesday after Memorial Day. So watch your email for that. And I'll probably send out a reminder on Monday just to give you the heads up again, but I'm going to make it so obvious and so attractive for you that you're not going to really be able to help but start tracking your trades. You will find yourself trading better. I promise you that. I didn't really start figuring out my trading until I started tracking. And now that I am tracking, all I think about when I make a trade is, how's this going to impact my numbers? How's it going to impact my stats? That's a totally different way of trading versus the way that I used to trade, and perhaps the way you trade, which is, hey, I want to make a gang of money here. Oh my gosh, I'm going to make a lot of money here. Oh crap, I'm losing money. I better sell. When you get away from that and just start looking at the numbers, I'm telling you, it'll make a whole bunch of difference in your results, and you will find trading more enjoyable and more interesting. I promise you that. Okay. So anyway, watch for that. Have a good Memorial Day day off on Monday, and we'll go get them on Tuesday.